Hello there, very good afternoon and welcome to Lunchtime News on TV1. On behalf of the News First, the voice of the people, I'm Martin Satyanesan. Let's start off with a look at your headlines for this afternoon. Fire reported about the MV Express Pearl in the seas of the Colombo port. JVP expressed views on MPs who supported the Port City Special Economic Commission bill. Over 3,000 COVID-19 cases reported for the third consecutive day. Fishing communities requested to be vigilant as the weather situation worsens. Egypt brokers an agreement between Israel and Hamas to halt 11 days of the conflict. Your lead story for this afternoon: Sri Lanka Navy and the Sri Lanka Ports Authority are engaged in an operation in order to douse the fire aboard the MV Express Pearl in the seas of the Colombo port.
The container ship was in anchorage about 9.5 nautical miles northwest of Colombo harbour as the incident was reported. Navy spokesperson Commander Indika De Silva said fire had erupted aboard the vessel that was transporting chemicals. The vessel, which was registered under the flag of Singapore, has carried 1,486 containers with 25 tons of nitric acid, several other chemicals and cosmetics from the port of Hazira, India on the 15th of May 2021. The distressed container ship has been manned by a crew of 25.
Even though the fire that erupted last night was doused, there is a possibility of a fire erupting again, and we believe the fire was erupted due to a reaction to the chemicals being transported on the ship. Tugboats of the Ports Authority, 2 vessels of the Navy and a Dora boat has been deployed to douse the fire. Meanwhile, a specialist team from the Navy and the Ports Authority have been transported by a speedboat to investigate and provide an interim report.
Minister Rohita Begunawardena also inspected the situation.
We are expecting to move the vessel to the port and carry out the required measures once the fire is doused completely. Based on the information we have received, the fire is controlled. However, we know there is a possibility of the fire erupting again. As a result, we are continuing the process of cooling off and carrying out other measures.
The Government Information Department said 38 more deaths due to COVID-19 were reported in the country. This increased the total number of deaths due to COVID-19 to 1,089. The deaths were reported from Udukinda, Lunugala, Balangoda, Katunayaka, Badurugoda, Kochikade, Negambu, Talatoya, Pulgavela, Galgamua, Siembalape, Mathugama, Ethanwatta, Navalapitiya, Kurunagala, Yatiantota, Beliuluya, Nabada, Kakunugola, Nikavaratia, Varakapula, Ampitiya, Marisana, Rajavila, Udispatua and Havaradua. 24 of the people who were reported dead were aged above 71. The reason for the deaths was COVID pneumonia and complications due to non-communicable diseases. Meanwhile, the epidemiology unit of the Ministry of Health noted 3,441 COVID-19 cases were detected in the island, raising the total cases in the country to 154,786. 30,203 individuals are currently under medical care. 123,532 have recovered from the virus.
Meanwhile, Army Commander General Shavendra Silva said island-wide travel restrictions will be imposed effective 11 p.m. tonight till 4 a.m. on the 25th, which is Tuesday. The Army Commander further said travel restrictions will be lifted at 4 a.m. on the 25th of May and will be reimposed on the same day from 11 p.m. to 4 a.m. on the 28th of May. He further noted that only individuals engaged in essential services are exempted from travel restrictions, while the rest should remain at home.
Island-wide travel restrictions will be imposed effective 11 p.m. tonight till 4 a.m. on the 25th, which is Tuesday. Only the individuals engaged in essential services are exempted from travel restrictions, while others should remain at home. At present, we have observed an increase in COVID-19 cases in the country. The reason for imposing travel restrictions is for the protection of the people. Travel restrictions will be lifted at 4 a.m. on the 25th of May and will be reimposed on the same day from 11 p.m. to 4 a.m. on the 28th of May.
The Ministry of Agriculture announced economic centres island-wide will be closed from midnight tonight. The ministry notes the economic centres will be closed from the 25th midnight till the early morning of May 28th due to the island-wide travel restrictions imposed. However, the farmers are allowed to bring their produce to the economic centres on the 24th of May. All economic centres will reopen from the 25th morning until the travel restrictions are reimposed.
The Department of Railways announced that no passenger trains will be in operation from midnight tonight until the midnight of the 27th. Meanwhile, the Civil Aviation Authority of Sri Lanka said all flights arriving in the country will be suspended starting from midnight today until the 31st of May, taking into account the prevailing COVID-19 situation in the country. However, this would not affect the departure flights from Sri Lanka. Moreover, cargo flights will also be allowed to operate without any hindrance. Meanwhile, the Janata Vimukti Peramuna says that the MPs who voted in favour of the Port City Special Economic Commission Bill have betrayed the country. The General Secretary of the JVP, Tilwin Silva, expressed his views during a media briefing today.
The members of the parliament on the government side who are ready to support any proposal from the government raised their hands like signal posts yesterday and gave their support to pass this bill. And now we cannot call any of them patriots. These MPs acted like patriots for some time and they even said that they are ready to sacrifice their lives to avoid the MCC agreement. Some even went on for hunger strikes. But yesterday everyone raised their hands and supported this bill of betrayal. The Port City Economic Commission bill is a betrayal and everyone who supported it will go down in history as people who helped a betrayal. In reality, the government was going to give the whole city to the Chinese. But thanks to the petitioners who went to court, the court decided that this bill violates the country's constitution. And by this Supreme Court determination, we were able to dilute the danger of this act to a certain extent. This determination was given due to the petition submitted by the JVP and other opposition parties. The government MPs who call themselves patriots did not do anything about this. This Supreme Court determination is a great win for our country and a major setback for the government. Still, against such a backdrop, the government passed this bill with certain amendments. This day, the 20th of May, will go down in the history of our country as a day of betrayal.
The police raided an illegal sand racket that was being carried out in violation of the sand permits in Maduroya.
The raid was carried out in Valikanda Vatamune area in Batiklo. Police said the sand racket had been going on for about 7 months. 5 people and 5 tractors were taken into police custody during the raid. Our correspondent said that a large number of kumbuk trees on the banks of the Maduroya have also been cut down. The suspects have been released on bail after being produced before court.
Another suspect has been arrested in the Hemmatagama area in Mavenalla for allegedly conducting classes to propagate extremist views. Police said the 29-year-old suspect was a follower of Zaharan Hashim, who planned the April 21st attacks and held classes in 2018 and 2019 to spread extremist ideologies. 6 suspects involved in the incident have been arrested earlier. Police media spokesman DRG Ajit Rohana stated that the Terrorism Investigation Division is interrogating the suspect at this point of time. In a weather update for this afternoon, the Natural Hazards Early Warning Center at the Department of Meteorology has issued an advisory for the formation of a low pressure area in the east center Bay of Bengal. It notes a low pressure area is very likely to form over North Andaman Sea and adjoining East Central Bay of Bengal sometime on the 22nd of May. It is likely to intensify into a depression around the 23rd. The system is very likely to intensify into a cyclonic storm by the 24th. It is very likely to move northwestwards and reach near Bengal coasts around 26 May morning. Naval and fishing communities are advised not to venture into the East Central Bay of Bengal and adjoining area from today until further notice. The sea area extending from Karkasanture to Chilo via Mana and the sea area extending from Gaul to Pothuil via Hambantota can be rough at times. The other sea area can be fairly rough. Temporarily strong gusty winds and very rough seas can be expected during thunder showers. Winds will be southwesterly in the sea areas around the island. Wind speed will be 35 to 45 kilometers per hour in the sea area extending from Karkasanture to Chelau via Mana. Wind speed will be 20 to 40 kilometers per hour in other sea areas around the island. Wind speed can be increased up to 50 to 60 kilometers per hour in the sea area extending from Gaul to Pothuil via Hambantota and in the sea area extending from Chilao to Karkasanture via Putlam and Mana.
ඔබ නායකයෙකු වෙන්න සිහින දකිනවාද? ඔබගේ බලාපොරොත්තු ළඟා කර ගැනීමට අධිෂ්ඨානයක් තිබෙනවාද? අභියෝග ජය ගැනීමට ඔබ සූදානම්ද? ඔබට අත දෙන්න ගම්මැද්ද සූදානම්. ගම්මැද්ද V-Force ඔන්ලයින් නායකත්ව සහතික පත්‍ර සම්මන්ත්‍රණය 23 ඉරිදා සවස 3ට පොලිස් මාධ්‍ය ප්‍රකාශක නියෝජ්‍ය පොලිස්පති අජිත් රෝහණ 24 සඳුදා සවස 3ට ශ්‍රී ලංකා කාන්තා ක්‍රිකට් කණ්ඩායමේ නායිකා චමරි අතපත්තු 25 අඟහරුවාදා සවස 3ට ෆිට්නස් ඇන්ඩ් වෙල්නස් කෝච් ගයියා කොඩිතුවක්කු Zoom සහ V-Force Facebook පිටුව ඔස්සේ ලියාපදිංචි වන්න පිවිසෙන්න www.newsfirst.lk අමතන්න 0777 6020 ගම්මැද්ද V-Force අරමුණ දිනන පෙරමුණ.
Minister G.L. Peiris made these remarks today regarding the Port City Special Economic Commission Bill during a media briefing held at the Department of Government Information.
මේ රටට අද දැඩි අවශ්‍යතාවයක් තිබෙනවායි කියලා.
We need to find ways to bring foreign revenue to the country without increasing the debt. And for this purpose, we will have to get foreign investments. To bring these investments, we need to attract investors. And to do that, we need to create new institutions and follow new trends. To cater to this need, our government decided to introduce the Port City Economic Commission Bill to the Parliament to get the House approval. Our Parliament is the institution with the full authority over public funds. This authority is mentioned under Article 148 of the Constitution. We have not made any amendments to this authority through the Port City Bill. In order to bring investors and investments, we have to give tax concessions. But these tax concessions will be given relating to the regulations passed by the Parliament. And these regulations will have to have the approval of the Parliament. And Parliament has the full discretion to reject any regulation. Therefore, we need to understand that any of these benefits and tax concessions can be given only with the approval of the Parliament. And all this money received as revenue will go into a consolidated fund. And under Article 154 of the Constitution, the Auditor General will have a special duty over this consolidated fund.
ශ්‍රී ලංකා ආණ්ඩුක්‍රම ව්‍යවස්ථාවේ 154 වන වගන්තිය යටතේ විශේෂ කාර්යභාරයක් අයත් වෙනවා.
For details of these stories and much more, simply log on to our website www.newsfirst.lk. For the News First, Voice of the People, I'm Martin Satyanesan. We end the news today with the Nagitimu Sri Lanka theme song.
Gammadda Nagitimu Sri Lanka. Gammadda Nagitimu Sri Lanka.